everybody, welcome to the Movie Guide. I am Brendan Dando of the Four Finger Discount Network, joined right now by Guy Davis.
What's happening, Dando?
And the Leonard Maltin. How are you, sir?
I am fine. I am a little sad right now because I'm still processing the news that Robert Duvall has left the planet. He's one of the giants of a generation, and a generation that just saw Gene Hackman
leave us as well.
Bid his farewell, exactly. And coincidentally or not, last week I got to say hello to Dustin Hoffman, who is now 88 and who came to Santa Barbara to present the award that bears my name to his friend Adam Sandler. And Dustin looks 20 years younger. He must be really in a melancholy state of mind right now because these were his pals. They roomed together. He and Duvall and Hackman, they all started out at the same time. And they were scratching for jobs for any kind of, they moved apartments. They did whatever menial work they could find while going on auditions.
It's interesting that these three worked together and roomed together and studied together and were coming up at the same time, because they really sort of do exemplify a shift in Hollywood and the way acting was regarded and the way leading men were regarded in Hollywood as well, because these were not traditional types.
None of them were pretty boys.
No, absolutely not. I mean, you would call them character actors back in the day, but you never would have considered them for lead roles or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And yet these were actors of such power and presence that you could put them in leading roles and they would be incredibly, convincing and compelling in that. There's a lot of talk about, occasionally people will call actors like, say, Brad Pitt or Jude Law, say, oh, they're character actors in leading men bodies. And people like Duvall and Hoffman and Hackman are almost the opposite in the ways they're leading men in character actor bodies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Duvall could carry a picture, of course, all by himself, but he was part of great ensembles. Of course, The Godfather comes right to mind, where he plays Tom O'Hagan, and the consigliere, who's never really a member of the family. He has their respect, he has their admiration, he has their trust to a certain degree, but he'll never be one of the family. And then I think of Lonesome Dove, one of the best miniseries ever made for television, and how wonderful he is in that, and Tommy Lee Jones and everyone else who's in that film. Directed by an Aussie, right?
That's right, Simon Windsor.
Windsor.
Aussie listeners will know him as the director of Far Lap, about that was Australia's Seabiscuit. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's unforgettable, of course, in Apocalypse Now. Did a lot of great work with Coppola over the years.
Yep. And Tender Mercies, very different kind of film. He had range.
He really did.
He had range. The great Santini, he could play a martinet. He could play a cowboy. He could play a bittersweet lead role. There was very little he couldn't do. I can't think of anything where he let me down as a viewer.
That's right.
As a fan.
It's almost becoming a cliche to say, oh, there was nothing he couldn't do, when we talk about actors like Duvall or Gene Hackman or even the late, Ned Beatty as well. I mean, there are character actors like that. But yeah, the thing that really struck me about Duvall when I was thinking about his body of work when he passed was he could really command the screen like he was born to do it. I mean, you look at him in, say, Apocalypse Now, and he's the center of everything. But what I think he did best was he was just an incredible scene partner, and he just made every actor that he worked with better. He didn't have to do a whole lot, but the way that he reacted, or the cues that he gave, or the responses that he gave to another actor's performance really elevated that actor's performance. You see it so much in the Godfather movie, certainly the first two, and it is just an unforgivable act that Paramount and whoever was balancing the books for Godfather 3 did not pay Duvall the money that he was, quite frankly, owed to reprise his role as Tom Hagen. I think he wanted $5 million. I don't know how much they gave Pacino. They probably gave Pacino something like 15. But they refused. They shortchanged Duvall and said, no, Tom Hagen's not in. And the movie suffers as a result.
He knew how to hold a grudge.
Oh, yeah.
I learned that. I interviewed him just a couple times, but I had a wonderful afternoon with him at the South by Southwest Festival in Austin, Texas. This is maybe 12, 13 years ago. My daughter was with me. She'll never forget this because we met him backstage and we're there in Austin. And he got on the subject of barbecue and would not leave it alone. He was telling us where we had to go for brisket. Get on this highway and you go 50 miles south, due south, exit here. He spoke of it with the passion you would expect an actor to give to a great role. So it's a family joke about Mr. Duvall and brisket.
Did you go and try the brisket?
I was about to say, yeah.
I wish.
It's funny because, I mean, you look at him and you look at his, say, his most notable performance, and you think, Robert Duvall seems like a real hard ass. He seems like the guy I would not want to get on the wrong side of. Yet there were so many tributes from fellow actors and collaborators yesterday upon news of his death that said he was just the best company. He was incredibly gregarious. He was a wonderful host. He was incredibly funny. No less than your pal Adam Sandler. I think it was the opening line of his tribute said Robert Duvall was funny as hell. And you could see that in roles as well, because, I mean, you look at behind-the-scene footage of him with the cast of The Godfather, and apparently they were just cracking each other up all the time. These are some of the most serious method actors around, and they're just acting like absolute clowns with one another and having a great time doing it.
And, of course, he discovered the tango, and that became one of his great passions, which he put into cinematic terms as well. He directed, I think, only 2 movies, but they bore his stamp. They bore his signature.
And The Apostle is one of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I believe he put up all his own money for, and I think got an Oscar nomination for Best Actor, and is widely regarded as an unsung but pretty good movie and a very, very good performance by Duvall.
Yes.
It's like I think we've said this about actors in the past. I think you can only be a really good actor if you're really good at life. And it sounds like Duvall was actually pretty good at life.
Yeah, sounds that way.
Yeah, so look, it's sad to say that, we're sad that he's gone, but of course the man made it to 95 years old, and, I think was working fairly regularly. I won't say up until his last days, but yeah, he was working until, certainly in his 90s, I believe.
Yes.
And just giving good performances up until the very end.
Yes, exactly. He was in that film with Robert Downey Jr., The Judge.
That's right, yeah.
And not a great film, but a great tribute to him, you might say. A character part about a man who's losing it, and the people who care about him and love him who try to keep him going.
Yeah, and he just had command and capability just up until his last performances.
Yeah.
Robert Duvall, a titan, and he'll be missed. Yeah, like you said, we're losing these sort of foundational pillars of American art entertainment from the 20th century, but we've still got all the great work that he gave us. So yeah, he'll be missed.